In the beautiful city of Barcelona stands one of the most breathtaking churches ever built, the magnificent Basílica de la Sagrada Família. But behind this extraordinary church was a humble Catholic man named Antoni Gaudí. Antoni Gaudí was born in year 1852 in Spain. As a young man, he loved nature and admired God's creation. He spent hours observing trees, flowers, mountains, and animals. He believed that nature was God's masterpiece and that every artist should learn from it. As Gaudí grew older, his Catholic faith became the center of his life. He attended Mass regularly, prayed often, and desired to use his talents not for fame or wealth, but for the glory of God. In 1883, Gaudí was given the responsibility of designing the Sagrada Família. He saw the project not simply as a building, but as a great act of worship. He once said, "My client is not in a hurry." By client, he meant God. Gaudí wanted every part of the church to teach people about Jesus Christ. The towers represent important figures of the faith, including Christ, the Blessed Virgin Mary, and the Apostles. The facades tell the story of Christ's birth, his passion, and his glorious resurrection. Inside the church, the columns resemble giant trees reaching toward heaven, creating the feeling of standing in a sacred forest. Sunlight pours through colorful stained glass windows, reminding visitors of God's divine light. As the years passed, Gaudí became more devoted to God. He gave up many comforts and lived a simple life. He spent almost all his time working on the Sagrada Família. People noticed that he was becoming less concerned with worldly success and more focused on prayer and service. He viewed his work as a mission entrusted to him by God. For the last years of his life, he lived almost like a monk, dedicating himself entirely to the church. On the 7th of June 1926, Gaudí was struck by a tram while walking to church. Because he dressed simply and carried little money, people initially thought he was a poor beggar. After several days, he died at the age of 73. Before his death, he received the sacraments and placed himself in God's hands. When architect Antoni Gaudí designed the Sagrada Família, he ensured that the central tower dedicated to Jesus Christ would rise prominently above the basilica while remaining lower than Montjuic Mountain. This was a reflection of his deep respect for God's creation and his belief that no human achievement should surpass the work of the Creator. Gaudí once said, "I am not building the Sagrada Família, she is building me," referring to the masterpiece that consumed the final years of his life. Today, Antoni Gaudí is also on the path to sainthood. Last the 10th of June 2026, Pope Leo XIV fulfilled Spain's long-held wish by inaugurating and blessing the completed Sagrada Família, exactly 100 years after the death of its chief architect, Antoni Gaudí. Known as God's architect, Gaudí left behind not only a breathtaking monument of faith, but also a lasting testimony to how art and devotion can glorify God.